Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, June 29th, 2024. For me, another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well, staying safe. So, before I get into my normal month-end presentation on where I am in my consumer debt payoff journey, just wanted to share something that happened to me this week. So, I haven't been feeling good for the past few weeks, and then early Thursday morning, 1 a.m., I drove myself to the emergency room because I was experiencing chest pain. For me, that's not unusual, but the severity of this chest pain made me think back to when I had a pulmonary embolism and deep vein thrombosis. And that was one of the most painful experiences I've had in my life. So I didn't want to chance it. Went in 1 a.m. There was one other person in the emergency room. And I got taken care of fairly quickly. Was in a gown in a room, and hooked me with all the testing equipment. Had an EKG, had a chest X-ray. I was ultimately treated. They didn't find a blood clot, so thank God for that. I was given muscle relaxer, magnesium, potassium, and the next day later that day I was feeling a lot better, and then I ended up working on Friday. But you know, one of the things I thought about was that I'm going to have, of course, a ER bill. I'm not sure how much that's going to be. I've had some doctor's appointments this year, and I do have money in my HRA, in my, what does that mean? Health reimbursement account. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm going to probably use most of that to be able to pay it off. But, you know, that being said, I might meet my deductible this month. Well, next month I probably haven't met. Anyway, enough about that. I will talk about that maybe at a later date. I'm not sure if I really want to go any further than that. So let's begin. I like to start off now by looking at the big picture. And, you know, if you hadn't been following my journey, in May of 2019, I was diagnosed with lupus. I was 40 years old, and my health was very bad. As a matter of fact, within a 2-year period, I was hospitalized 6 times. And accrued a lot of medical debt, and had stepped down from a role in management, moved across the country to be with my parents, just to, try to get things figured out, try to get back on my feet. So the next year, too, in 2020, is when I started aggressively paying off consumer debt. At that time, I had identified that I had over $115,000 worth of consumer debt. And I said, I've tackled my health. I was no longer afraid of going to the doctors and, getting my blood drawn and getting treatments, whether it was infusions or blood transfusions. It didn't matter to me. So the next logical step was to tackle my finances. May of 2021 was when I learned how to budget. So that's exactly 3 years and a month that I had, started to learn how to budget, and I have been consistent every day, every week, every month. Now every year, I stay on top of my finances, and I really understand how to budget, how to set aside money to be able to pay off debt, as well as cover my living expenses and needs. And December 2021, I became a homeowner for the first time. Thankfully, I had a 401k. I was able to cash out a portion of that to be able to cover the down payment. And I'm not living above my means. I'm living in a place that is actually below what I could have afforded. I think a lot of people run into that problem because, they want something a little bit more bigger, maybe something that they'll eventually grow into as a family. But, for me, I didn't budge. When my realtor was saying, you need to start looking a little bit higher because it's harder to find something in the price range that you're looking for. I said, no, this is what I'm going to be able to afford, and I'm not going to budge on that. But anyway, that was December 2021. In January of 2024, I paid off half of my consumer debt. So it took me 3 years and 7 months to be able to do that, to pay off that much debt. But you know, I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the progress I've made since the beginning of this year. So in January, I started off at $57,531.97. Was able to pay off $906.97. February $935.36. March $1512.66. April $1053.24. May $1021.21. And now this month I paid off $1231.19. Yeah, that's this month was a little bit of a stretch. And I really had to kind of push myself and to get to that number for a number of reasons. But you know, I would love to match March's total, but March was sort of a excuse me, an anomaly, because I had a bonus and I had a tax return at the same time, so I was able to dump as much money as I did during that time. I did, let me see, there was something that I did that month that I'm not sure, because I probably could have paid off a little bit more, but it seems like there was something that happened that month that I paid a little extra money to, but that's neither here nor there. So, okay, in the first half of this year, I've paid off $6,660.63. How does that compare to last year? So last year, in the first 6 months, I paid off $5,148.99. Again, this year I paid off $6,660.63, which means I'm ahead by $1,511.64. That's a good pace. And you know, what's kind of funny, I was just thinking about this, I think yesterday, was taking a look back at last year. In the first 6 months, it was very consistent. I was paying like between $850 and $900 a month in the first 6 months. Now, if you look at that compared to this year, it's kind of all over the place. The lowest amount I paid off this year is $906.97. The most I paid off is $1,512.66. So, and that's one of the things that does happen when you have a fully funded baby emergency fund, which is what I have. My baby emergency fund is fully funded, so whatever extra money I could dump into my debt, that's what I'm attempting to do. Now, of course, you know, I have setbacks along the way, this ER visit being one of them. I think it might have been this year that I went to an urgent care. Yeah, I went to an urgent care this year. I was dealing with a cough. And actually, that may have been the reason that the March number could have been higher. I don't remember exactly when that happened, but that was a bump in the road for me. So let me see. So I did the comparison there. Baby emergency fund. Okay, so looking at the beginning of my journey, where do I stand right now? Okay, so in June of 2020, my consumer debt was $115,041.89. I paid off a total of $64,170.55. My consumer debt as of today is $50,871.34, which means I paid off approximately 56% of my original debt. That is, yeah, you know, ultimately I'm happy with making progress. You know, I'm not in competition with anybody. So, you know, the ultimate goal is to be consumer debt free, on the road to being entirely debt free, including my mortgage, which, you know, I don't talk about my mortgage. I'm paying it off. But if I were to just focus on my entire debt, I would probably have a panic attack every day, because of course my mortgage is the highest amount of debt, but I'm singularly focused on getting this consumer debt, non-mortgage debt paid off. The biggest part of my debt, I think 71% now, is the student loan. And you know, looking back, you know, a lot has changed for me. I had a lot of different types of debt, you know, medical debt, credit card debt, auto loan, debts on installment. It was a lot to manage, the student loan, a lot to manage. And now I have a personal loan and I have 2 student loans. I'm aggressively throwing as much money as I can directly to the personal loan. As a matter of fact, if I can, my goal is to have it paid off realistically the end of 2025. If I go more aggressively, I could probably get it paid a little bit sooner than that. Hopeful, you know, if I have a bonus in December and a bonus in March, then I'm just gonna dump all as much as I can towards that, and that'll be that. So this is where I am. You know, I made a stretch effort to pay off that much debt this month. Happy with the progress. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit sad actually because of what happened Thursday, and you know, leaving at 1 a.m. by myself to get to the hospital. It was a very dark area, you know, hardly any lights. And it was, you know, it just kind of took me back to when I was in and out of that hospital all those times. And I was just hoping that I would get answers and, you know, whatever happened. But anyway, I said that to say this. Have a plan if you need to go to the hospital, you know. And maybe that you have a neighbor to take you, or if you're married, you know, of course, your husband and wife can take you, or you know, living with your children, child can take you. But you know, for me, I didn't have anybody to take me at that time, so I have a hospital to go back, which is has a few pair of clothes, clothes, charger for my cell phone. It has my emergency contact numbers, as well as prescription list that I keep updated. And so, you know, I'm prepared to go. Hopefully, I'm on the road to more stable health. And we'll see how they go. But anyway, if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You know when I post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@lupuslifestyle. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you all take care. Thank you.